Right now, somewhere, someone is lying awake at 2 a.m., replaying an argument from 10 years ago. Their jaw is tight, their heart rate is up, their stomach is in knots. The person who hurt them isn't even in the room. Might not even remember the incident, might be dead, and yet the body reacts as if the threat is happening right now. Here's the strange part. Science shows that grudges don't just live in your memory. They live in your body, in your blood pressure, your immune system, your hormones, even the way your heart beats. And forgiveness, real forgiveness, isn't just a nice moral idea. It appears to be one of the most powerful, underused tools for physical healing we have. Here are 7 ways researchers believe forgiveness changes your body, from the inside out. Way 1. It lowers your stress hormones. When you replay a resentment, an old betrayal, an insult, a wound, your brain doesn't know the difference between remembering a threat and facing one right now. The amygdala, your brain's alarm system, fires. Your body releases cortisol and adrenaline, the same hormones meant to help you survive a real emergency. The problem is, most grudges get replayed for years, which means that stress response doesn't just fire once, it fires again and again, sometimes for decades. Researchers who study forgiveness have found that people who practice it tend to show lower cortisol levels and calmer stress responses than people who stay stuck in resentment. Forgiveness, in a sense, tells the alarm system the danger has passed. You can stand down. Way 2. It eases the load on your heart. Your cardiovascular system is exquisitely sensitive to emotion. Anger and resentment are linked to spikes in blood pressure and heart rate, and over time, to greater strain on the heart itself. In studies where people were asked to recall a grudge versus imagine forgiving the person who hurt them, the grudge condition consistently produced sharper increases in blood pressure and muscle tension. The forgiveness condition tended to bring both back down. Some researchers who study forgiveness and heart health believe that chronic, unresolved anger may be as significant a risk factor for cardiovascular strain as poor diet or lack of exercise. The heart, quite literally, seems to carry the weight of what we refuse to let go of. Way 3. It calms your nervous system. Your body runs on 2 competing modes, fight or flight, and rest and digest. Resentment keeps you locked in the first one, sympathetic nervous system activation. Muscles stay tense, digestion slows, sleep gets lighter and more fragmented. Forgiveness appears to shift the body back toward the parasympathetic state, the rest and repair mode, where digestion, immune function, and deep sleep actually happen. In several studies, people who forgave showed improved heart rate variability, a key marker of a nervous system that can shift smoothly between stress and calm, rather than getting stuck in overdrive. Chronic stress doesn't just feel bad. It suppresses immune function. Long-term resentment keeps stress hormones elevated for extended periods, and elevated cortisol over time is associated with reduced activity of certain immune cells and slower wound healing. Some studies on forgiveness-based therapy have found that participants who worked through forgiveness, particularly around deep personal betrayals, showed improvements in markers of immune function compared to those who didn't. The body, once it's no longer bracing for a fight, seems to redirect energy toward repair instead of defense. Forgiveness studies have been conducted with chronic pain patients, including people with conditions like fibromyalgia and chronic back pain, and a consistent pattern shows up. Higher levels of anger and unforgiveness are associated with greater reported pain intensity. Several intervention studies have found that when patients worked through structured forgiveness exercises, their reported pain levels decreased. The likely mechanism: chronic anger keeps muscles tense and the nervous system on high alert, which can amplify how intensely pain signals are perceived. Forgiveness, by lowering that baseline tension, appears to turn the volume down. Grudges are loud at night. Without the day's distractions, the mind often returns to unresolved conflict, replaying arguments, rehearsing what should have been said. This mental rumination is strongly linked to poorer sleep quality, more time to fall asleep, more nighttime waking, less time in deep, restorative sleep stages. Research on forgiveness and sleep has found that people who hold on to grudges report significantly worse sleep quality than those who let go, and that the relationship holds up even after accounting for other factors like general stress and health. Some researchers describe forgiveness as removing a kind of cognitive noise that would otherwise keep the brain in problem-solving mode long after the lights go out. Long-term studies, some following people for decades, have found associations between the ability to forgive and lower overall mortality risk, even after controlling for age and health status. One well-known line of research found this link was strongest in older adults, suggesting that the cumulative, cardiovascular, and immune benefits of forgiveness may compound over a lifetime. To be clear, forgiveness isn't a magic cure, and no single habit determines how long someone lives. But researchers increasingly view chronic hostility as a measurable health risk, and forgiveness as one of the few interventions shown to meaningfully reduce it. So why does letting go of a grudge do all this? The short version, your body cannot always tell the difference between an old wound and a current one. When you hold on to resentment, you are physiologically asking your body to keep defending you. You are physiologically asking your body to keep defending you against a threat that, in most cases, is no longer there. Forgiveness doesn't mean the harm didn't happen. It doesn't mean reconciliation, or forgetting, or excusing what was done. Researchers who study this are careful to separate forgiveness from those things entirely. What forgiveness seems to do, biologically, is signal safety. And once the body believes it's safe, it stops spending its resources on defense and starts spending them on repair. And once the body believes it's safe, it stops spending its resources on defense and starts spending them on repair. We tend to think of forgiveness as something we do for the other person, a gift, a mercy, but the research tells a different story. The nervous system doesn't know who the grudge is for. It just knows it's carrying one. Every day that resentment lingers, cortisol rises, blood pressure climbs, sleep gets thinner, the immune system quietly stands down. And every time a person finds a way to set that weight down, even just a little, the body seems to breathe out. Maybe forgiveness was never really about the other person at all. Maybe it was always about giving your own body permission to heal.